Morning, wake up, back your way. Thank you for being here, and thank you for spending money over the holiday season. That's what retailers say. Of course they do, because there's Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, and then there's just all the other days that wind down to the end of the year and to the Christmas shopping season where the stores are just packed, right? But they're also packed out of those seasons with people who can't stop shopping. Shopaholics. Are you one of them? Researchers now estimate that up to 6% of Americans are shopaholics. That means shopping till you drop, combo shopping, teaming up with others to shop. It's not a full-time activity, but this is a leisure activity. Is that a good idea? I mean, really, should we be thinking about some kind of intervention for you or for others? Are you thinking about intervening with someone you know can't avoid shopping, can never put the credit card away, has to be online or in the stores all the time? I mean, I wonder about that. CPA and money therapist Holly Signorelli is joining us now to discuss. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not shopping, but I am I'm shopping for some new ideas on how to temper this without hurting our economy. And I guess that's part of the problem overall, that we don't want the economic engine to slow down, but compulsive shopping can be an addiction for some people. True?
Well, yeah, and, the credit card debt is also a problem for the economy, too. So what we want is people to be balanced about their spending by creating a very simple budget. I mean, it's so easy to do a budget. It doesn't have to be complicated like something I might do in my office, but just to understand, okay, this is how much money I can spend on luxury-type items, and this is how much I can afford for the holidays. And remembering that the holidays really are about having fun and spending time with the people that you care about and enjoying yourself. And most importantly, going into the new year the right way by not feeling guilty about how much you spent or the credit card and that you racked up over the holidays. That's not really what it was ever supposed to be about.
So spending the most precious thing we have is time, and spending time with family, saying, I want to be with you. And around you, this is where I want to have my free time. That is a more valuable gift and something to get as well than the stuff.
Absolutely.
The stuff.
Yeah, and think about with kids, too. Like when they're younger, it's kind of like how pets will always play with a box versus the toy that you got them.
Mm-hmm.
And kids are like that,
right.
too. They're so simple. They just enjoy life, and you don't have to teach them the lesson from the beginning that they have to have big, extravagant gifts. Because they don't. Those are okay to have during certain times, and you have the money for it, and it's something special. But we don't want to give our kids the wrong message that you just can have anything you want at any time, because that's not how it works in the real world.
Holly,
and it is about time and having fun with your family and friends.
And you're right about that. I remember my dad and I spent half of Christmas Eve night putting together a new bike for him. He was a little kid with training wheels, and he was excited about that. He also spent a lot of time the next day taking the bike box and turning it into a fort. So it became a fort. I remember that. Well, Santa left the box here, Dad. And yeah, sure, go ahead. And there it was. So, I mean, that's right. You're right about that. We call it plastic surgery this time of year. The idea of cutting up the cards and living within your means, that's a different kind of plastic surgery. Do you recommend that, or is cutting up the cards a good idea, or should you keep them around maybe under 3 locks in a drawer? This is a very popular method with some people to do that. You have to really think about it before getting to them.
Last year I did this. I actually did a video on it. It's still on my YouTube. But I literally did cut my department store credit cards, because those are the ones that you get very impulsive during the holidays, and they also have the worst interest rates. But people wanted nothing to do with it. They were just not ready. So I realized that, okay, maybe people aren't going to cut up their credit cards, but maybe they, can, if they just could stick to a simple budget. And it's really emotions that cause the overspending and the impulsive spending. It has to do with desiring something that someone else has and not being willing to wait, which is the instant gratification of our society today. And let's not wait, but we'll pay a credit card every month, and it's so demoralizing versus setting money aside and buying something with cash. That is the most exhilarating thing. If you buy a beautiful pair of shoes with cash and you don't have credit card debt, it is the most wonderful feeling in the world.
Well, and that's an important point, and I guess, and how often you do it. I know my girls, I love my girls, but I mean, they've been in my closet in the shoe tree like, Dad, you have a lot of shoes. I said, that's all because I don't throw them away. I don't go through them. I kept, until the lawn says you can't mow in these anymore, I'm keeping those around. They make a funny face, but it's true. But if you run through stuff all the time, but it's like going to the store, Holly, if you're hungry. When you go shopping for groceries when you're hungry, you end up with different stuff in your cart than when you go in after you eat. I mean, is there a way of approaching
that's
this?
a great analogy, yeah.
So how do you approach that with stuff? I mean, what's the best way to shop? We keep it with cash, maybe a debit card at most?
Debit cards and cash is like the same thing in my mind because you're not racking up credit card debt. And with the holidays, having a simple list of this is how much I can afford for the holidays and this is how much I'm going to spend on everybody.
Okay.
And being creative is so much more fun than having to buy big, extravagant gifts for everybody. It's exhausting, and it doesn't need to be. And another thing that people go crazy on is during the holidays, they want a perfect dress, but we live in this age of social media. So if you buy this $1,000 dress and you wear it 3 times during the holidays, you're going to have all the same pictures on social media. This has really changed the dynamic of how you dress at a party, right? So Rent a Runway is this amazing online service where you can go pick out a dress and rent it for 4 days for $30 to $50. And you can look at pictures of people that have the same figure as you versus a model. And it's just a great way to have a new dress for several events, and it's very affordable. These are things that people can do that will allow them to have, the beautiful dress that they want without spending all their money or putting out the credit card for sure.
All right. Well, they're not a sponsor on here. You just plug. I mean, I'll say as well, my girls have used that service, and you get some pretty amazing stuff. And it is. You send it back. But on the other hand, some of those dresses are very stunning and they're very expensive, and they would be off the normal sheet for a purchase. So it's actually a smart way to live outside your means for a few minutes without going broke in the process. And as a dad, I thoroughly approve of all the above. Holly Signorelli is a CPA and money therapist. Holly, where do we find you online?
At themoneytherapist.com and Holly Signorelli for my YouTube channel. Lots of great information there, and on SmallBiz as well. She's
not going to cut up the department store cards because that was a bridge too far last year, but she's ready for the next plan of attack against the shopaholics. Have a great holiday season, Holly. Holly is very appropriate, isn't it? A little mistletoe on Holly. Yeah. We appreciate you being here. All right. Thanks, Holly. More coming up.
Have a good one.
1320. This is WILS.